Ghost SEO. How LLMs secretly rank you whether you like it or not.
All right, guys. My name is Brie Moreau. I run a company called Wildlife Digital Marketing. I'll probably skip to the next slide because it'll make more sense. We basically are the main backlink provider for stake.com. We help them rank #1 in the world for a whole bunch of keywords, all very short keywords that are very, very lucrative, right? I can't say the words. I got all my slides redacted, so I have to be a little bit careful what I say. But basically, we rank them #1 in the world for a whole bunch of keywords in this industry. Okay, so what I have to say is very, very valuable. We've generated billions and billions of dollars for them. So that's the most important thing here. Now, I'll talk a little bit about backlinks, but then I'm going to go into GEO and LLM because we've been paid by stake.com. We've done over 1,000 hours of R&D for them in LLMs and how to optimize. So this isn't some fluff, kind of works. Trust me, bro, I know a lot about AI. This is pure data science-driven research methodology, and we can show you the exact framework to rank in the LLMs. Oh, over there. Okay. I'll quickly just show you, that's the trick, all right. I'll quickly just show you how we rank them #1 for all these keywords with backlinks. Now, if you're trying to rank for a keyword like Adidas shoes, Google only looks at that keyword for Adidas shoes and only looks a little distance around Adidas shoes for all the websites. It ignores 99.9% of the other websites that are ranking for Adidas shoes. It just ignores them. So when you're buying links from vendors and you're getting these guest posts over here, here, Google is completely ignoring it. And what we managed to do and how we were so successful for Stake is we only got them links that were ranking for the keyword and related keywords that they wanted to rank for and with page traffic, which is really, really hard to do. Most of you know about backlinks. You can't buy a backlink that ranks for the keyword and has page traffic. We figured out how to do that. How did we do that? We built the largest backlink database in the world, and we have a team of data scientists. We have 80 backlinkers and 5 full-time data scientists in our company, and we do this beautiful link extraction process to pull out links that are ranking for keywords. So if you get a backlink from a site that's ranking for the keywords you want to rank for and has page traffic, instantly all of your rankings will pop. And this is what we've done for Stake, and this is what we've done for other clients. I just want to explain this to you as a context of how we got to where we got to. Once we achieved the results for Stake, then they're just like, yes, you want to do AI stuff for us? Go for it. Here's a bunch of money. Go and do some R&D. And what you're going to see now is a massive investment in AI that I'm sharing with you publicly. Now, everyone, I want you to grab your phone, and I want you to pull out ChatGPT. And I want you to type in best hotel in Hawaii, all right? So if you want to put in best hotel to stay in Hawaii, pull out your phone and type in ChatGPT best hotel to stay in Hawaii, guys. This will make, if you do this, you'll understand what we've figured out, okay? Now, once you start getting results for that thing, what you're going to find is you're either going to have Four Seasons Resort or Ritz-Carlton, okay, guys? What I want to know is who doesn't have either Four Seasons or Ritz-Carlton. Who doesn't have it? No one doesn't have Four Seasons or Ritz-Carlton in there. You don't have it? Maybe scroll a little bit further. You might have it on a secondary thing. Either Four Seasons or Ritz-Carlton. Yeah, you have Four Seasons, right? Now, here's the thing. Everyone says that ChatGPT is like super personalized and all these things. If you guys go to Hawaii, are you going to drop $1,500 a night on Four Seasons or Ritz-Carlton? Yes or no? Maybe you guys, but general public is not going to drop $1,500 a night on Ritz-Carlton, yeah? So if ChatGPT is so personalized, why does everyone get these same results, right? And the reason is they're saving money. So what we've done is we've figured out the pattern behind why ChatGPT shows up these results, and it doesn't matter what keywords you go into, we can show you which websites are consistently showing up again and again and again, and then we can replicate the metrics that they have in order to be one of those websites. Does that make sense? Do you understand the value of what I'm saying here? I'm not sitting there saying, trust me, bro, AI tech. This is like, you're going to see a whole bunch of data science stuff. This is us finding the patterns of ChatGPT. Cool. All of you probably know that, ChatGPT, the LLMs, the funnel is being compressed, right? So it's incredibly, incredibly lucrative. Instead of like going through and typing keywords into Google and searching and opening up new tabs, you type something into Google, you see the first 3 results, and then you just open those tabs up. So it's important that we make sure that we're in there. Now, obviously, with our industry, there's certain things that show up in certain geos and certain things don't. My prediction, the same way that ChatGPT started to do is kind of like open up for adult, I think that because they're going to need more money, that all the keywords in our industry and all those kind of terms will open up as well. So even if things are kind of blocked for now, we can show you the process on how to optimize for that. Now, again, it's highly converting. Now, what's really interesting here is everyone seems to think that, if you rank in Google, that you're going to rank in the AI. And what this data study by Josh, is a mate of mine, figured out was that there's only 12% overlap. So what's ranking in Google is not what's ranking in ChatGPT. That's really, really important because everyone goes, oh, if you just do SEO really well, you're just going to rank in ChatGPT. It's not true, okay? However, with Bing, there's a different story. You've got 26% overlap, of course, because the relationship between OpenAI, Microsoft, et cetera, et cetera. So this is important. So obviously ranking in big is a big, big variable here. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Who's heard of Common Crawl before? Has anyone heard of Common Crawl? No. So the thing here, Common Crawl is going to become really, really popular in the future. And what Common Crawl is it's an open source repository for all the LLMs to get their data from. The guy who started Common Crawl was the guy who sold AdSense to Google. And then he created his own non-for-profit foundation, which scrapes all the internet, right? And then every single month, they upload this data set and they give it away for free. And all the models, Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, all the models use this as the foundational base for their models, okay? So if these guys are using it as foundational base for their models, you want to be in this foundational base, right, guys? That's part of the trick. So we understand, I can't really get into all of that in 20 minutes, but this is a really, really important part. If you want to see whether your website is in Common Crawl, you can basically go to this URL down the bottom, which you probably can't read down there, and you can put your URL in there. We've got a whole bunch of tools as well to do all this kind of stuff automated with UX, really nice UX. But basically, you want to be in Common Crawl. That's the first thing. Or your brand wants to be in Common Crawl. Now I'm going to get onto our data study. So we extracted over 2 million citations across pretty much, we specialize in our industry. So most of the data is like our industry specific, but we did other industries as well. And what we do with our data science team is we find patterns. We're looking for statistical significance and patterns. Because basically what we can do is we can reverse engineer the algorithm. And if we can reverse engineer the algorithm, we know how to manipulate it. We did this with Google. The results speak for itself. #1 for steak.com. For all these keywords, it's the most competitive keyword in the world and the most lucrative keyword in the world. We know what we're doing, right? Applying the same logic and methodology to ChatGPT. Is this kind of fun? Yeah, it's kind of fun, right? Like, this is kind of fun. Like, sitting here, Sigma on my phone, and looking at the dude doing the thing. Okay, cool. Yeah, man, this is fucking, again, this is incredibly, incredibly valuable. This is not public information. This is over 1,000 hours of data science work to get this information. So it's not just put some slides together and put this up. This is a massive project, right? So what did we find? A whole bunch of stuff. What's important here is we're using a bunch of math. It's the same math that we use for the backlink process. It's called cosine similarity. You want to start familiarizing this term called cosine similarity. It's basically the cosine angle. It's like if you have like things represented in three-dimensional space, right? If something is like let's just say you've got let's just say you've got a word apple, right? If the word banana is next to it, it's really, really closely related, right? And that means it's a fruit. Now, if you have the other word apple over here, and it has Microsoft next to it, contextually, that's a tech company, right? This is what cosine similarity is. Cosine similarity means the smaller the angle, the more relevancy there is. And everything to do with AI and Google search this day is all three-dimensional vector search is what we call it. So we're looking for very, very tight cosine similarity is what we're looking for, just so you understand a bit more about what we do. Now, whenever you see any kind of bump like this, that's showing us that there's statistical significance, right? We're seeing there's a pattern here across millions and millions of citations that if we do this thing here with our citations, in this situation, it's for the page title. So we can chuck one of your websites in, put the page title in, and figure out whether you're in the sweet spot, right? Because if you make your page title hit that sweet spot in this cosine similarity process, then you're optimizing the way that ChatGPT wants you to optimize. Again, I'm giving you a full download on AI in like 20 minutes, right? So forgive me that I can't give you all the details right now, but are you starting to see what we're doing here? This is another variation, right? It's another process on the content of the page. Can you start to see the significance of what we're doing and the patterns that we're finding? More patterns, right? So these patterns are what helps us to optimize for ChatGPT. We're able to find the signal within all the noise. So we created a tool. We haven't publicly released this tool. This is just what we use internally for our team. But we actually put a website in, and we can actually figure out where the website fits on the pattern, and then we can optimize the website, and then we can see how we move it to hit the same spikes at what's needed for that specific keyword. Now, that's cool. Now, the other thing that we've done, and this is where the magic is. In this example here, we took 3,000 citations for a card game, a very popular card game in the industry that obviously our client wants to rank for. We extracted 3,000 citations and we're able to find you know how I showed you at the start with the Four Seasons and the Ritz-Carlton? Out of the 3,000 citations, for this keyword, I can give you the exact examples of the Ritz-Carlton and Four Seasons for this keyword, right? Does that make sense? So we know which websites that we want to attach ourselves to or be a part of. Because if we're attached to those, if we can kind of be attached to their network, then we're going to show up. There's a higher probability. Because the thing is, there's thousands and thousands of citations out there on the internet, and most of them are junk, and there's a small amount of them that have a lot of signal. So when we take the 3,000, and I'll come back to this, when we take the 3,000, out of the 3,000, there's 127 in this network that we identified that were showing up consistently for this keyword, right? So every time you put like all different variations of prompts for this keyword, you'd always have Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons, Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons, but it's not Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons, it's like words that I can't say, and it's a repeating process, and we're finding the pattern. So as we found the pattern within ChatGPT, what do? We basically attach our clients to this network. So we basically go to other websites and we basically try to figure out if we can attach, if we can get links from these websites, there's about 3 of them in this network we can get links from. So we go in and we basically link to our client, so we become part of this network. It's like in SEO you've got high DR, high DA. This is the high DR, high DA network within ChatGPT. So if we can get links from this one here and this one here and this one here to our client's website, then we become part of this network, right? Does that kind of make sense? I know this is like high-level stuff. It's a little bit abstract. Most of this stuff is just going to get more and more abstract as it gets more sophisticated. And what we end up calling that process is co-citation hijacking, right? And what we do, so let's just say that was a network that I just showed you. Oh, shit. let's just say that's the network I just showed you, right? And we create a whole bunch of articles around it and interlink our client with that network. And it's associating our client with that network. Does that kind of make sense? So then when the ChatGPT bots come into that area and start looking around here, they're going to see our client there and go, oh, this is kind of related. Okay, so when we have results for a specific card game, we're going to show our client's website as well because our client's website is relevant. Cool? Does that kind of make sense? I know it's hard. AI is the future. It's a lot of data science. So, and this thing here, everyone who's heard about listicles being like the cool thing, right? Everyone's like listicles are the thing. No one's heard that? So listicles, everyone, if you go on LinkedIn, everyone's going to tell you to go and get published on listicles. And the reason why they're saying get published on listicles is because of this network. Because a listicle, right, is basically an article linking to all these sites. And there's another article linking to all these sites. And so all that's doing for ChatGPT and the other AI models is just preferencing and showing this is a really strong cluster, right? And we want our clients to be inside the cluster, and you want to be inside the cluster. And so the way that we do this is we define the cluster like we showed you. We define the cluster like we showed you. And then we start finding opportunities to insert ourselves into this cluster. Boom, mic drop, Brie, you're a fucking genius, man, holy shit. Okay, all right, didn't happen. But it did, all right? You get it, right? Yeah, this is like, even though I'm sitting here contextually and you guys are in this like, you know, conference and stuff, the reality is this is world first. This is leading in the world. Like I'm speaking at the best conference for SEOs and data science in a couple of months. Like this is, there's no one doing this work. It's not trust me bro shit. It's like, this is data-driven, factual. This is how it works. And we're the only company in the world that's totally specializing in this. And the reason we're able to specialize in this process is we also have access to a lot of data providers in the industry. So we have access to different data that other people don't have access to. Because if you go out and try to do this data study, you're not going to have the same data that we have to start off with. Yeah, it's called co-citation. It's called, just so you know, the term is called co-citation networks, right? So if it's actually from research papers. So obviously citations are based from research. And so if these three documents are linking to these three documents here, it creates a co-citation network. And we have a score for that called co-citation similarity. And this is the math behind how to rank in ChatGPT. And we created a tool. Okay, sorry. Going the wrong way. Yeah, here's some more visualizations, right? Just pretty things. I just like visualizations. Not that you're going to understand what these visualizations are, but what's important here, people are going to, in the future, like we're leading the industry right now. We're creating this whole process. But people are going to start selling you citations like they're selling you backlinks. We're doing this already, but we're doing this with math. So we come in, we work with clients, we extract a whole bunch of citations from the AI visibility software, and then we find these diamonds, right? But other people are starting to sell AI citations. What's really important here is literally 95% of AI citations, I can't interpret this draft, but 95% of AI citations are junk. They will never show up again. But the 5%, like the Four Seasons and Ritz-Carlton, will continually to keep showing up. So we need to make sure you're only getting into that 5%, right? All the rest of them are junk. So you're going to start seeing people selling this as a service, and they're not going to be doing it the same way we did it because it's really hard to do it the way we've done it. Yeah, co-citation similarity. I haven't actually, do you guys get to ask questions? I don't know, does anyone get to ask questions? Do they get to ask questions? I know there's like 41 seconds. Oh yeah, so what we've done, another cool thing that we've done here is, so we've got backlinks that are ranking. So we've actually merged the process that we've done with the backlinks that are ranking for the keywords you want to rank for and have page traffic. Then what we do is you grab all the data from the citation data and figure out whether they're in the citation network. And so we're getting backlinks with traffic that are also getting traffic from the LLMs and mixing those together. This is really hard to do, and there's not many of those links that we can do for that process. But the point of the matter here is like we're actually putting these two bits together and creating links in a way that's incredibly powerful. So that deserves a clap too. You don't understand what it is, but it deserves a clap as well. Anyways, we've got a booth just outside on 40, just literally over there. If you want to come talk to us about backlink building, you can come and chat. You can obviously get a free audit from us as well. We're not really selling the AI citation stuff at the start. We have to build backlink client with us first before we start building a relationship because it's a lot of work with the data science team to actually pull all this stuff off. But that's my talk. I figured it out.
Amazing. Ladies and gents, give it up for Brie. That was so... I don't think you know how amazing that really was. Give it up!
Yeah.
This is literally like saying, have you heard of electricity? No, it's going to be big.
Yeah.
That's how big this is. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And whereabouts is your booth, by the way?
Just outside there.
Wonderful.
To the right, yeah.
There'll be a queue.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you so much, Brie. Once again, round of applause. Brilliant.